Hello, it's me, Ariza Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Blast from the Past, the series where I summarize an entire long-form Oxygen Not Included playthrough in one video. So today we're going to be talking about Rime Revenge. This is the series where I tackled the Rime asteroid, which starts off very cold, and we immediately generated a lot of heat to melt all the ice into usable water, and our aim was to make a colony that was sustained entirely off of 15 magma volcanoes that were around the map. We were planning on feeding all of this magma condensed into igneous rock to stone hatchers, and that was going to be the food source. And it was actually going really well, but we got a little bit lost in the source, and we ended up breeding way too many hatches. So we ended up with somewhere over 300 stone hatches and 40 branches before we even built the first Magma Volcano tamer, and we ended up running out of rock to feed them with. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting 550-ish cycles. I talk about it a lot. There's a lot of designs that I use to this day on my current Twitch playthrough. And yeah, feel free to have a look and let me know if you like what you've seen, if there's any builds that you particularly like, or any funny moments where you caught a dupe getting caught in a block of ice or something stupid. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now. Fairly normal. Looks like we've got a load of water above us. That's good. So the temperature is cold. As usual for Rime, your printing pod starts at around 20 degrees. The area around you starts at like 10 degrees. And then it gets colder very quickly. So there's enough room for some liquid water here. But that will freeze if we bring it too far outside the map. And this this stuff down here is like minus 40 degrees. So we need to generate heat and move it around. One thing I like a lot about Rime is that all the slime that spawns is too cold to have germs on it. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to dig up slime and we're going to run it through algae distilleries. A, to get more algae, and B, to generate heat. Because again, the algae distillery outputs 30 degrees polluted water, no matter what the temperature of the slime is to start. And slime also has a very low heat capacity. So by turning it into polluted water, which is very high heat capacity, you're basically just adding a load of heat energy. You're multiplying the heat energy of this by about 15 times. What's the purpose of the water on the floor in the algae terrarium room? The main purpose is so that the dupes don't have to fill the terrariums with water, because otherwise they have to do it. But if the water is on the floor, the buildings just absorb the water themselves. There's one less errand for your dupe to do. And I guess in this case it also helps equalize the temperature of all the stuff in the terrarium and out of it, because we want the heat from the polluted water to help heat up the colony, because the polluted water always comes out at 30 degrees. So that's what the water is for. And what we've done is we've set the valve here to the exact amount to keep these guys running. So the water level should stay constant in here. It shouldn't overfill with water once these are all built. We've let it overfill a little bit just so there's a bit of leeway. Yeah, I guess all the green bottle emptiers are showing where the heat is. So the relatively hot polluted water will come through here. The ice is still melting. And then this water will go to the farms, because we know it's warmer. I mean, at the moment it's not much warmer, but as the ice starts to melt, that will help. I think we will probably just desalinate this. But that's not high on my list. I want to melt all the regular ice first. But yeah, this is the first time I've built one of these machines either. I don't think I built this on screen. Normally, when I get slime, I try and save it for mushrooms. Or I'm just trying to store it somewhere to keep it from off-gassing. Let's actually just dig this out. Let the polluted water go into here. We'll try and tile it up so that the fish ends up in a warmer area. No tepidizer for the fish. Can we build one quick enough? Can we keep it powered? That's probably what we should do. That is probably what we should do, you're right. Meanwhile, the hatches are just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah, so now it's 10.6. So the fish is warming up, so fish survive. No soggy feet with a spawn. Oh, I know it's better overall. I'm just debating when to actually transition from this into a spawn. And I'm thinking at the moment, for now what we do is feed the cold water, i.e. from the map, from the ice melts, into these things, and heat it up. Melt more ice. And then take the hot water and put it into the spawn, when the hot water is too hot for anything else. There you go. Ta-da! You're very happy with yourself. Alrighty. Fossil excavated. Success! My duplicates have safely excavated a set of strange fossilized remains. It appears there's more of this giant critter's bones strewn around the asteroid. It's vital we reassemble a skeleton for deeper analysis. There we go. Found a site. I see. It actually reveals where they are on the map. Okay, that's interesting. So it makes fossils now for free? Not yet. We need to find the other fossils and bring them here and do stuff with them first, I think. And then it will generate fossil for us. I don't think it's completely free. I think you have to put diamond in it, but it's a very, very small amount of diamond. So if you have any way of producing diamond at all, like from your presses, if you have any sort of renewable carbon from your hatches, you should be able to run it. So we've got a frozen one over here. Wow, this is really frozen. This is like minus 130. And then we've got the amber one, which is down here, and this is with a this is with a spore kid in a slime area. That's quite hot. That's amusing. That's gonna be fun. And then we got the petrified fossil, which is all the way down here, which is in magma, but is also surrounded by hydrogen. That's gonna be fun. Oh god. Hey Ubivis, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. We did a fish rescue operation. We found a fish up here in a pool of water, but the pool of water was so cold the fish was gonna die. It was gonna get below minus 20. So we had to block it up and move all the polluted water down here. We mixed it with all the polluted water from the algae terrariums, which was warm. So it's just about warm enough for the fish. Hopefully we'll get some gulp fry eggs from this. And we'll start converting all this to regular water without needing the sieve. That would be perfect, just having loads of gulp fry. Our rescue efforts were not in vain. We already have some copper from here. The temperature here is very hot, as we would expect. I don't think we're going to melt the ice anytime soon, because carbon dioxide isn't going to conduct the heat very well, but maybe we'll end up with a puddle of molten copper. We'll see what happens. We'll probably get some sand tiles forming in here, actually, now that I think about it. But as you can see, we have not generated very much polluted water compared to the regular water from the ice melt and the water geyser. These things are ridiculous. Keep digging all this stuff up. Keep getting all the thimbleweed seeds. The buddy buds as well. That might actually be nice to put somewhere. The only thing is the buddy buds grow between 20 and 40. So the base would have to be quite a bit warmer to grow those. And we open this up. So now we have brine for making things liquid locks with, I guess. And we're using the cold brine to melt the polluted ice, because it's still warm enough to melt the polluted ice. And what else are we doing? We made a temporary freezer up here, just with some cold gases over here. This is where we're storing all of our food for now. And yeah, that's basically it. We're getting ready to mechanize hatches. And we'll mechanize the Pacu as well at some point, but I still want to think about where they're actually going to go. I don't know, we've got water for now. We've got all these... Maybe once these go dormant... We have analyzed this. This will go dormant in 16 cycles. This will go... Oh, these are both the same geyser again, aren't they? This happens. I mean, they have different names, but the output is the exact same. This has happened before. We've had seeds where the natural gas geysers have been identical. But each of these produces the exact same amount, the exact same eruption period, exact same active period, exact same synchronization. Which is convenient for us. But it does mean that there'll be periods where these aren't running at all. We're going to be draining our water. So when they aren't running, maybe we'll start prioritizing melting this again. Right, it's working. There we go. So you are making copper. Polluted water is coming out here. Not very hot, in all honesty. I mean, there is some extra heat coming out of this, but it's not a lot. Steel generation produces the most heat by far. Now we've got lime, we can make steel. So let's just do that. Let's just do some steel production too. Whatever it is, the water won't be boiling when we put it in here, but this should help us melt it a bit faster. So if the amount of critters in here is too low, then this door opens and the critters will fall into this room. That's what I want to do. Because the babies are going to wander into this when this door is closed. We're going to put the automation here to decide when to open this door, open this door. So what will happen is the critter will wander into here. When there's critters to be added to these ranches, when the ranches aren't full, this door will be open. A critter will wander in here and this door will close behind them. Then this door will open. The critter will wander onto this door. This door will then close on them. And that will push the critter down here through this door. I don't know why this works. It does. It just does. Well, whatever. This door will open when you finish with here anyway, so I don't think it actually matters. So somehow you have not scalded yourself. That's good. Somehow the heat isn't leaking too much. I guess because the gas isn't leaking too much. I think we're just going to have 3, because it's slightly more than 2 is able to cover. We have the coal automated. That's actually worked really well. Like, we've already filled up these receptacles. Just from what little hatches we've had. So that's good. And now we shouldn't actually need to worry about the hatches ever again. They should just keep multiplying forever. Oh, I need to put one more in here. Okay, let's just do that quickly. We've got our farms. We have the hatches. Hatch dropper is fully functional. But now we need to actually think of where we're going to go and store all of the food long term. Because we did have a cold region over here where everyone was putting all the food, but this is slowly heating up. And I think what I'm going to do... I think I'm going to do it in the long run, because I've got the cool steam vent and things down here. And a lot of water geysers and stuff up here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, like, the permanent sort of living quarters over here. We'll melt this ice and then we'll expand up here and have it be between... Have it be between the natural gas geyser up here and then the volcano down here. And then we'll have the ranch column going this way, and then maybe this could be bedrooms, and they can just run across one of the ranches to go to bed. So let's just dump some water in here just to get this started. So that Amari isn't adding fertilizer for no reason. We don't need this to run continuously. So what I would like to happen is I would like some of these plants to run dead occasionally and not overfill this with water. But obviously at the moment we don't really have any control over that. But at least they're growing, at least they're the right temperature. And because it's algae, terrarium, water, that should help regulate the temperature. This area down here is a bit hot, but that's okay. It's carbon dioxide, it's not going to be too... This metal refinery is still working despite being absolutely covered in liquids. That's okay. And we've decided for some reason that it makes sense to dig down here for an access shaft. So we're putting some exosuits here, and we're going to dig past all this volcanic obsidian, so that'll be fun. And we have also... What else have we done? We printed off a load of Paku. So we have a load of Paku in here at the moment. It's raining pee in this tank. Need to get a thumbnail shot of them digging this gap. There you go. Good job. Unidentified Puffy object. Yeah, now this is heat sealed. There's still a little bit of heat over here. I don't think the insulated tile is letting this heat through. I think this is just residual hydrogen heat that hasn't cooled yet. Oh wait, no. There's some obsidian that's still cooling down over here. Do I just put that all in here? Okay. We actually have a bit of a problem. Because the chlorine is liquefying, it's occasionally taking the sterile atmosphere off these. But they are starting to turn. How do we solve that? I think I need to put a roof on this as well. I need to stop it interacting with the ice. I mean, I guess eventually this problem will solve itself, but this ice is very cold. Oh! These guys are overcrowded and glum, so they're not producing any light. That's amusing. Yeah, we're getting some proper melting going on now. That's good. All of this will go back into the algae terrariums, so eventually this should just clear up. Good little boy. So yeah, I think we'll just dump some brine in here. I like using brine in here a lot, just because it doesn't freeze as easily and it doesn't off-gas. Once we've grabbed all of this stuff, we'll just seal this up one level. We'll put a tile here, and we'll let some salt water flow into this room. And then that can count towards our tile count. No, this is not a good plan. You need to seal this. There's going to be way too much liquid. It's going to overpressurize the... yeah. Why did I think this was a good idea? Why? So you'll see there's germs in this area again now. And once you've actually got the shine bug will start removing the germs. And they might even remove the germs from here. See, they are actually killing the germs in here as well, because they're looking out... they're occasionally looking out onto the geyser. So if I just bring up the rad view... even a small amount of rads will kill the germs. So exposed to 19 rads, 100% died per cycle. If I look at, like... yeah. Exposed to 2 rads, 93.4% dead per cycle. So really, you only even need 1 shine bug in here. But I'm going to have a few, because I want to try and climb the... I want to try and climb the ladder. I haven't done that on the save. So now these germs should start going away. And we've got to put the lamp here just so that the shine bug comes over here towards the light. They tend to do. Yeah, looks like we dropped a load of shine bugs in here. That's good. So they should get rid of most of the radiation before it begins. Max is just like, why am I here? Oh, the shine bug is going to get hit by rad bolts. Oh no, look at this. It's alright. Yeah, I can hear them just getting shot every now and then. That's great. Wow, you are actually building this. Neat. I do not feel like this is particularly efficient. You do keep dropping just little bits of shine of bristleberry down there. You know what? Let's actually just prioritize this pipe. Get this built. Your task for today is to climb the ladder. Meanwhile, the pip is just like, yes, I'm going to empty the storage bin. Yeah, and there's no other gases down here because the chlorine is liquefying, so this should get us oxygen right in here. And then what we'll do here is I'll just dump a load of... probably just a load of brine. And that should stay... if we dump enough mass, that should stay liquid, I imagine. Then what we'll do is we'll ladder in here. Sweep all of this liquid out here. I'm gonna grab that. This can be brine. We do have like 4 tons of brine saved up for this purpose. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll get to work on melting all this oil. Now, we do have oil up here. That is true. But I said we were going to do this, and we're going to do this. Why are people scolding? You are analyzing the volcano while it's erupting. You know what? You can go and do something else for a little bit. Oh, I just realized. It's Nicholas Copernicus who's researching the copper volcano. Now, how's that for some dramatic irony? Right, now you're going to build this. You do need to build these really quickly, because this is going to start melting very fast. So, the mechanized airlock has been built. That is heating up very quickly. That is conducting heat with the tile very quickly. The thermosensor is not conducting heat because it's not, is it? Well, this has gone very well. Crisis averted. So, this is now sealed against the pressure damage. It will explode this way, but that's okay. Because what we wanted to do is we wanted to explode this way after it's cooled. Or after it's cooked into petroleum. And then we'll have it dissipate its heat out into the rest of the oil biome. And then we'll have some nice cool petroleum. Okay, and then I can... Yeah, that's disconnected. Then we just need to dump the... So now I need to close this. And I need to dump a very small amount of a liquid on this. So what liquids do we have a small amount of? Here it is. So yeah. So now that's in contact with that. The oil has turned to petroleum. This core with the branches I'm pretty happy about, but we need to do a few things. I think basically this base is just going to have a really big transitionary phase. Like, we need to switch off the algae terrariums at some point. It was kind of helpful for generating our initial heat, but now we just need to... Now we just need to actually regulate our temperature properly. Because we've got these water geysers that are super hot. And they're cooking the plants. We have enough spare plants at the moment that it's not going to be an issue. And they are stored properly in this cold chlorine area. But I don't know. Who's our friend going to be? Inspect. Inspect. Yes, I know there's a teleporter. I don't need to see the destination. I know where the destination is. It's the other planet. Inspect. Who is the friend? Yeah, everyone's looking spiffy. We got an ash can. Alright, let's see. What are they up to? They, at least it would be a mouth breather. They have irritable bowel, green thumb. That's it, okay. Personal interest digging. So they're a digger person with agriculture. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. We got some beaters. We got some beaters, and we've got a hydrogen generator down here. That's pretty good. Start with mopping all the piss. Well, I have told them to mop the piss. They're just not getting on with it. Are we actually going to be able to make it all the way to the volcanoes? Who knows? We'll see. Weirdest magma spike I've seen. Well, this is the first time I've done like a actual magma spike like this, but yes, I agree. This is pretty monk-ass. Yeah, it is kind of boring me building the same thing all the time, which is kind of why I just wanted to rely on these algae terrariums for so long. Maybe we'll just do the naked electrolyzers here. We've got a lot of dupes. And it's not like the heat is going to cause any issues on this Rime map. And it's not like we're not making a mess of this whole map. That seems to be the theme of this run, is making a mess of the whole map. Like, I think I decided I was just going to make the whole base open to dupes, or the whole asteroid open to dupes, and then just have exosuit rooms where we need them. So, I feel like just having naked electrolyzers and then a cooling loop that runs through the base. Alright, can you do it before you suffocate? I mean, the answer is probably yes, because there is oxygen in here, which is always helpful. Oh, you're scolding? That makes sense. So it turns out the hydrogen is now conducting heat with the igneous rock, now that we remove the abyssalite. A slight problem. So, germs. So they immediately spread out, like immediately. That didn't work at all. There we go. The lovely user pick name is going to be on the thumbnail. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put this. Looks like there was a tile that accidentally eschered a load of water Because this is filling up very rapidly. Oh no. This water geyser has been eschering onto this tile the entire time. We have 192 tons of 63 degrees water in this one tile. This is going crazy. Let's priority 9 this dig. Let's priority 9 this build. What a good start of a stream. Yeah, I did not spot the Escher bit. It seems to have dissolved now, so that is all the water. But that is a lot of water. Where we can move stuff down into. We can also just dump all this water onto the copper volcano. I don't think this is going to erupt because there's too much steam pressure in here now. Right. On that note, I think I'm just going to save it. We're going to call it because it's going alright, but I want to finish this tomorrow. We're not going to have time to finish it tonight. So we've had enough algae to keep going while we've gotten this online, which is good. We managed to move all the water, so it's now getting separated a little bit better. We managed to clear this space for the spawn. It's right next to the base and easily accessible, so we shouldn't have to pump the oxygen too far. Obviously, we're going to make sure it's cooled properly. And yeah, it seems like it's coming together a bit. Let's keep a quick eye on this. I know you could do this with the move to thing, with the move to tool, but I'm not sure that's actually quicker, considering you already have all these little bottles lying around. So we're going to do that, and then we're also going to actually go grab this petroleum. Wow, this is all boiled! Okay. We can actually release this now, then. So let's see if this spawn build works without priming. So 3, 2, 1... No. No, it doesn't. We'll reload that. Okay. So this should turn all of them on. 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, look. I tried to actually belch some hydrogen into this bit anyways. Yeah, it's still trying to shove the hydrogen in here. That's not good. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the good news is that is working once it's primed. Okay, that's good. Now let's hook the rest of these up. Okay, so you do have to prime this design, but once you have some hydrogen in the top and some oxygen in the bottom, it does run. That's good. All the plants are growing again. Hooray! Success. Alright, we're nearly there. The dripping intensifies. Alright, there we go. Look, it just immediately just shoots straight out. So, yeah. This is hopefully going to start melting this oil as well. This oil should melt at about minus 38-ish. Yeah. We got some oil up here that's going to melt as well. Still shooting out. There's still a lot of excess pressure here. The brine is... There's a lot of brine here, and it's at minus 10. I'm hoping there's not going to be too much actually spilling over. Oh, God. What do you mean not allowed by schedule? No. Look here. We're getting this done red alert style. I've been using red alert a lot this run. Usually to do with this. This won't boil for a while. There's a lot of mass in here, but yeah, you do need to do this right now. Wait. Get out of here. You got heat stroke. Completely normal experience. Yeah, this is very normal. Yes, our city device says we have 30 dupes on one schedule, so that's why we've had to red alert it just to get someone down here, because everyone went on break at the same time, right when we needed them not to. we should just give people a couple of schedules. Right, let's sweep this up. Wow, this is leaking again. So much oil. Rip meat? Looks like it. He's not gonna die, but he is gonna need rescuing. Yeah, Meep is like a fresh dupe. So they are too slow to get out of here on their own. And now they're gonna suffocate. Oh dear. Are we actually gonna have a death? Who is rescuing Meep? Hold on, Amari, you on it? Amari's on it. You could try, dude. There is oxygen. You just need to get him out. No, he's shaking his eyes. Not enough breath. Oh, we're so close. Nope. He's dead. He's dead! We got a dead Meep. No! We let him die. Alright. This is the first actual real death I've had on a stream in absolutely ages. And that was literally because we decided to get this built without using suits, which normally wouldn't have been a problem, except for the fact that we had a completely fresh dupe and no athletics training come down here. So they scolded before they could get up the ladder. So that's what killed this dupe. But yeah, no more deaths. I'm very sad that our favourite Meep died. Rip Robert Paulson. We were being a bit reckless, so we're going to make sure to properly Atmos suit areas where they're going to be scolding now, or at the very least, just actually making sure they're below scolding before we go in them again. The important thing is we do have a pump full of petroleum now. And that isn't overheating. We have plastic being made. Butter is being churned. So we're going to have a nice stockpile of plastic to work with, because we're going to convert all of this petroleum into plastic. So when the dupe is in the triage cot, their breath goes up faster than it goes down. So you can keep dupes on triage cots outside of oxygen, and it doesn't cause any issues. Now, you know what? This seems like a fun challenge. Instead of deconstructing these walls, we're going to get Sandra Bullock out through the water tank. You are now asleep. It's fine. There you go. Sandra is melting the ice. And now has immediately gone back to sleep. I would be quite impressed if Sandra managed to melt this entire glacier with just their pee. You know, it's funny. You start off with this game and everyone's peeing themselves. And then you get good at the game and then you manage to stop everyone from peeing themselves. And then you end up playing this game for so long that you end up not caring about your dupes peeing themselves. There you go. So let that all out. All the oxygen can come back. This will actually melt the ice. And then we'll start leveling this. Oh, I didn't plan that very well, did I? I've got the freezer where all the oxygen pipes are. And we were planning on gas cooling that. Maybe we don't bother gas cooling it, maybe we just aquatuna cool it. Perhaps we do our favourite trick again. And get the dupes to come in here and convert this oxygen into CO2 for us. They have now all decided to fall asleep. Well, I guess it's fine. That's gonna take forever to drag the oxygen over here. This is a rubbish idea. Abort. Abort plan. Right, so where we left off, we basically did a load of decorating last stream. So we've got some drywall up, we've got the Great Halls looking nice, we've got a new bathroom complex. I am planning on putting fish here and fish-related recreational activities. And then maybe adjusting this room slightly. We also drywalled and did all the bedrooms. We're going to add a few more bedrooms after this. Holy moly! So this is what the shine bugs look like when they're happy. This is because I haven't unpaused the game yet, so I haven't realized how unhappy they are. But if I look at this, we got like what, 60,000 lux in here. God, imagine if we actually kept all these guys happy. Pretty much a shine bug reactor. I mean, the radiation would be there even if they aren't happy, but a little crazy. We have a yellow alert here because I accidentally unleashed the chlorine vent at the end of last stream. But I'm sure someone is going to responsibly fill this gap. I mean, it's already blocked off, but this water is going to freeze fairly soon. Yeah, maybe we will. How did goldfish get in there? I have no idea. Save the goldfish. No, I'm not going to save the goldfish. I mean, we could. We could save the goldfish because this is gonna seal, isn't it? Although, if the water level lowers, it's gonna open up again. You know what? This is fine. Let's come in here and save the goldfish. Yeah, at least now you can actually grab the lead without getting scalded. You know, God forbid I actually forward plan just a little bit. They also look very cute in their puffer suits. This looks like we're starting to get some oil leaking in here. Who's scalding? You're scalding. That makes sense. Get out of there. We're just gonna let you... Are we really just gonna let you vent freely over here? Now that the base is so close? I don't think we do. This should be set to send green signal if above 1,000, I think. So many manual gens. Yeah, so these aren't for power. This is for if the dupes get bored. These are set to priority 1, so that if the dupes are bored, the last errand on their list will be to run on the wheel and power this lamp. And that lamp isn't hooked up to a battery, so they'll keep running on the wheel to fuel it. So that will train their athletics and their machinery skills. So instead of just wandering around idle, they'll develop those skills and eventually able to have max athletics pretty quickly. So that's why I set this up. And then the other thing we have is a little timer sensor that goes off every 24 seconds. So this way, it will interrupt the dupes every schedule block if they are running on this. So once they get idle, every cycle, they'll see if they're still idle, and if they are still idle, they'll still run on the gym, and if not, they'll go do something else. And so that's what that system is. It's May. May is just like, I can't believe I'm the one who has to knock. What a load of rubbish. Yay. Okay, knock, knock, knock. The funny thing is, I can just leave the dupe knocking on the door until I click this. Like, they'll just keep doing it forever. Do my bidding. Right, let's see what it is. We get a cutscene. It's George. Finish these. We've used the red candy cane aesthetic in a place where it's slightly less visually jarring than in our main base. Your current moonlit run, you've ended up cooking the foodstuffs with George with 3 different moonlets. Nice. That definitely sounds like a way to do it. I just love that he pokes his head out occasionally and just like, yeah, this is real living. Is the water too cold? Do they not do it in really cold water? That'd be quite interesting if they didn't. Oh, are they pooping ice? Is that really happening? There is a fair bit of ice down here. Oh yeah. Okay, so what's actually happening, okay, this is a bit concerning, is that they're depleting all the liquid in here. And then that is going to, yeah, you can see the level is fluctuating. That's going to release these germs. Well, this area is sealed off anyways. It's probably not a big hazard. Got any Weezewort? Yeah, I think we'll need to use radiation to kill the last bit. We could bring maybe we can bring a shine bug down there. I don't normally follow people's builds, but we're gonna follow this one because I build my regular setup a lot, and I'd like to see how I could save space. And this does look like it saves space, and I can have twice the fish throughput. Like, I have 2 breeders instead of 1 in the same space, so I want to try it. This looks like it's filling up quite quickly. That's good. I do very much like that I can just fit this in here alongside the sieve for the bathrooms. We will need to put some crown molding in here for it to count as a rec room. So we'll just do that. Well, they seem to be doing alright. And there is oxygen in here as well, so that's good. They are all just hanging out in the wet room, though. We have just released a shit ton of steam. That is a thing. And then Gordon Ramsay, apparently what this duplicate is named. Gordon is cooking them all into barbecue. And then we're storing all the barbecue in this freezer. So we've got this room nice and cold. We have a pipe full of ethanol running through this at like -30. We had some trees that we grew and we turned into a little bit of ethanol that's just running continuously through this loop. And yeah, that is going into this machine, which occasionally cools it down and then slowly heats this water up, which is fine because there's so much water it's never gonna actually evaporate. So that's fine. Ignore all the steam down here. That's unrelated steam. So here's the steam turbines. Now, this steam is coming out at 110 degrees C. So normally that's too cold for steam turbines. However, you don't need all of the openings of a steam turbine to be hot for the steam turbine to work. You just need one of them to be hot. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to send some water into this little chamber here. I mean, I'm just laying this out at the moment. We'll have to deconstruct some of this to fit everything. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Leofar. This is a crazy build, and if this works well, then I feel like this actually just outright solves cool steam vents. So we'll adjust this later, but I'm just drawing it out at the moment to illustrate the concept. So the drip pumps go here. This ends up with a very large amount of cold steam stored. And then what happens is we take the steam turbine, we take some water, we take the steam turbine output, we use liquid valves to drip it, a very small amount of liquid in here, onto a battery connected to the steam turbine. So the battery will be in here producing heat in the vacuum chamber, so it will heat up this room constantly. And what we'll do is we'll drip a little bit of petroleum in here, but really it could be anything that can get hot. It could be something else, but we're going to use petroleum. And that battery is going to heat the petroleum up to around 200 degrees C. So then what will happen is we'll just conduct the heat from the petroleum to the tiny amount of water that we're dripping in here. And then that will form about 200 degrees steam. And that will allow the rest of this very cold steam to get sucked up with the hot steam that we're recirculating in here. And then that means all the water can get processed through the steam turbines. Yeah, that's getting drained immediately. Yeah. Okay. So this is definitely what we have to do. So we have to move the vents to this position. We have to cook the slime in this position. We do have plenty of slime, so that's fine. We do need to preheat this for this to work. Well, I mean, this will do it eventually. This will do it eventually, but it's going to take forever to get up there on its own. It's more about maintaining the temperature once it's at that heat and the water's being dropped in it than anything else. Okay, so it's not actually that much more complicated. This is a very scientific method of leaving a reminder. Hot. This is the new Aresia standard font. Right, there we go. I think this will be the thumbnail. You won't see the hot pipe part, but you will see this. Yeah, and it is aesthetically pleasing as well. I like that it's symmetrical. I also like that we managed to just about fit it next to our Paku machine. That is definitely a plus. Looks like this conveyor loader is empty. Because we dumped... What is going on with this thing then? We've got thimbleweed seeds in here. Did I reconnect this? Okay, we got our tiles. Good. Okay, so now we can just cut this off. And that should stop that. And stop dumping petroleum in here. Disable this. I'm going to leave it here just for now in case we need to use it again. We're not getting any... We're not getting any heat leak, are we? No. Good. Alright, what's in the box? The other thing about exosuits as well is they do have plus 10 digging. So do remember that's the thing. It does help with digging out these geysers. Whatever this is. Maybe it is a water geyser. It's a volcano! Great. Perfect. Another volcano. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Well, at least we know. You're a happy fish, that's good. And how many fish we got down here? We've got 16 fish. Do we have any eggs? No, they are laying eggs. We're not storing a load of fish eggs on conveyors, are we? We are. Well, that's not good. So it looks like these eggs all got loaded onto the Paku conveyor when they shouldn't have. But I think perhaps I need to make it so that occasionally they filter off. Maybe we just go like this. So the thing is, if we're boiling salt water in here, and this is a steam room, getting to 125°C, we can technically boil polluted water in it. But we want to get a large amount of steam mass in here first, because the polluted water doesn't boil until just before the steam turbine point. So we don't want to get in a situation where we flood this room with polluted water and it doesn't actually boil anything. But I am thinking that we just release most of this polluted water over here. And to be honest, I think I'm probably going to send all of this water over there as well at some point. We've still got all these wild Paku in here. They're just vibing. They're allowed to hang out. But yeah, what we're doing. So the copper, that is going to boil the water, turn it into steam. We're building a load of steam turbines, which are going to absorb all of the steam and output it as colder water again, generating some power in the process. And the plan is most of the water is going to go to the electrolyzers over here for oxygen. And then what else we're going to do is we're going to send the excess water. First of all, it's going to go cool all these steam turbines. We're always going to have more than enough water to fill this pipe, so there'll always be excess water running through here. So this is going to cool the steam turbines with these aluminium pipes. And then it's going to go through all these thermo aquatuners. So these are going to cool the water by 14 degrees each whenever it goes through. And the aim is that we're going to run... We're going to get the water down to 25 degrees C, and then we're just going to pump it over here. We're going to pump it into our plants, because we don't have any cool water. We do have ice that we're melting occasionally, but I want to just set up the geysers to actually do it. We have loads of excess coal from all of our hatches, so we have loads of power. We've just stuck coal power plants absolutely everywhere. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts how much coal we've been producing. So we're just going to keep hooking up coal power plants until we run out of coal. And yeah. And that's what we're going to need to power all of these. We're not going to be able to power these just off of the steam turbines. We're going to need some extra power. Now, we do have a load of hydrogen stored up here from the oxygen machine. That is sitting up here. There's probably not going to be enough hydrogen to run all of this permanently. I think literally the plan for now is we're just going to set up We're going to set up 10 coal plants here. I think that's literally what we're going to do, so let's just do that. How many fish we got? Look at all the tropical fish we got. Cute little boys and girls. And this should run pretty well. Okay. I'm fairly convinced that we've solved this problem now. Now we have the entirely different problem of 420 kilograms per tile of steam in here. It's fine. We'll confirm that this is working properly for a few more cycles, but it does actually just look like it's working properly now. Yeah, base temperature is right down. Look at this. Look at this. Nice green base. That's what I mean. So not only is it running the plant, it's also just cooling this big wedge of the base. Is this oxygen getting cold again? This is getting cold again. It's just getting cold again. Ah, this is erupting again. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. Alright, so you can replant these. Replant the buddy buds. And we actually have 10 now, so we can unplant, uproot these. That's fine. We plant all the buddy buds in here. Oh, I'm so glad we managed to solve that thing. I thought I was going crazy. I'm intentionally not feeding the hatches granite, because I want to save the granite for building decorative stuff. Do I just let a load of dupes run in here and get scolded? I think the answer is yes. I'm bored. Yeah, disable this. Let the dupes run in. Let them get scolded. You guys have been athletics training long enough. Now is your real test. We need you to build this. Come on, Stinky. You can do it. I believe in you. Yes, eye rotation. Yes, yes, yes. Why didn't I should have saved this before I started. Yeah, you're all suffocating. Nisbet, are you alright? No, Nisbet. Nisbet. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. You're gonna get rescued. You can only get rescued by a guy with the... Oh, God. Oh, no. Have we seriously killed Nisbet because we were being really silly? Oh, no. Oh, no. Nisbet's... Sandra is coming to help right now. Okay, that's good. Right, get her out of there. For relief. Right, okay. That's enough of that. So, yeah. Today the plan is get this school steam vent table working. Check that this one works properly. And then we'll make sure that's replicated over here, so that when this activates, we can do that. We'll pump all of this water over into the water tank. And then the plan with the polluted water... I don't know what the plan is with the polluted water yet. I mean, I do want to grow some pinch of pepper nuts. That's definitely a plan. But we're going to need to heat up the polluted water a little bit for that, without boiling it. Tepidizer is probably a good way of doing that. Perhaps we can have a tepidizer, just get it up to 35. Or perhaps we just run polluted water through the metal refineries and send that to the pinch of peppers. I like that idea better. Why did I build this pipe here? Why did I decide I was going to need to run oxygen pipe through here? So I think these are overheating, but they're overheating for short enough periods of time that they're not actually taking damage. I've disabled auto repair anyways. Looks like the steam turbines are working now, so we're heating more. We're sending more water into this line, which is the steam turbine output. So that should be being prioritized. You are sweeping up a load of material. You got like 2 tons of petroleum. You know, that'll probably actually do. Petroleum just going back and forth. Yes, this one feels much neater than the previous one, except for the part where this isn't connected up. Why is that not connected up? Did I actually deconstruct the pipe here? That's hilarious. Oh god. What kind of nightmare is this? Yeah, you're getting there. Okay, that's... we may actually... Here's an idea. Let's actually build some... Let's actually extend this oxygen pipe. You're already fertilizing it. Good job. Remove these. You disable this. We've got some farmers who are just looking for stuff to do. Apparently, 190 bristle blossoms isn't enough stuff for them to do. Well, why do we have a pip in here? Why are you in here? What temperature are you? You're 20 degrees. Are you not? Because that's the, oh, you're staying in this little patch of cold-ish oxygen. Look, guys, I don't know what is going on. How did you get in here? Why did you get in here? We have meat. Oh, here's what happened. So a critter died. They left some meat in this obsidian that we couldn't access. So then that meat rotted, turned into polluted dirt, and then off-gassed and contaminated our whole zone. That's a thumbnail. No. I'll tell you what, that is a clip though. I might put this clip on there. I might put this clip on YouTube. It's all good. Duplicate warp ready. You're not suffocating, are you? No, you're just a bit impatient. Oh my god, hold on. Did they add this? Did they add a new animation when you leave a dupe in the tube? It's just like, I want to go. Let me go. I've not seen this before. They must have added this. Or am I going crazy? I think I might be going crazy. Because clearly the original Pip died, laid an egg. Are you just going to wander straight into the magma? No, you have a bit more sense than that. You are going to heat up very quickly standing right next to the magma. You're just contemplating life. You're just like, should I wander into the raspberry jam or not? And then we can get all of this built. This should all still work in the meantime. We're still emptying this room of all the other random crap. So, in terms of rock, let's actually have a look at how much rock we have. Because obviously we're feeding these hatches an insane amount of rock. We're feeding them mostly just sedimentary rock at the moment, which is partly why I'm excavating so much of the map. I think we're at the point where we've got most of... mostly just... yeah, we've got 9.3 tons of sedimentary rock left. I think we ran out of that fairly quickly. We don't want them eating any granite. I think we just have to start feeding them igneous rock soon. Those are eggs. We have 196 stone hatchling eggs. And we have 49 regular hatchling eggs. I'm thinking perhaps what we start to do is we start to crack the regular hatch and sage hatching eggs. We'll send them somewhere else. And so, what I'm going to do... So, we've already got cold ethanol on our freezer loop here. So, we were feeding it in from ethanol distillers up here. I'm not going to keep these up here. We're going to move them. We're going to move them to close to where the tofu is being produced. It's fairly close by. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to inject the ethanol from this onto the loop. And I'm going to put a shutoff here. There's a little bit of wiggle room for us to put in a shutoff. So that we can make sure that it's only cold ethanol going to the freezer. Because we don't want hot ethanol coming straight from the distillers going there. That way we can add a little bit more ethanol for the plants if we need to. I can move some of this pipe work. I don't think we're actually going to need to preheat this again. It's ran for several cycles now and it's not had any issues. So I think I'm just going to repurpose that pipe work in a bit. Should I put the mini pod next to the gold volcano again? So that we can easily melt it in an emergency. Actually, you know what? That sounds appealing. Just in case I want to print anything over here. Let's do that. Yeah, the volcano pod returns, because if I can't decide where it's going to go somewhere where I can melt it. So what you do is you make it out of granite, and then what you can do is you can seal it in the room with the gold volcano in a vacuum, and melt it when you no longer want to use it. Because you can't normally deconstruct them, because when you inspect the pod, you will get data banks, or you'll get a data bank. So they don't want you to just deconstruct or reconstruct it to make data banks. But you can just melt it instead. So, I don't know, they should just let you deconstruct it. This is stupid. I feel like I've ended up wasting half an hour of you guys' time by, like, by just building those temperature plates. The room's even warm again now. Well, I mean, it's colder than it was, but... yeah. Well, sometimes you just want to mess around, don't you? I mean, these ones are growing at least. Go, Pav, go. We're gonna get... big brain time. Ooh, deep diver's lungs. That's really good. Half the oxygen consumption. That's really gonna help this asteroid. Nice. This better be alright. You better be a non-farter. Right. Okay, look. What have we got? God damn it, we got another farter. Oh no. God damn it. I thought that they weren't going to go and grab pay before going to bed. I don't know why. I guess it was like an urgent errand. God damn it. Oh yeah, you're rubbish. Right, okay. Try again. Right, what we got? Pink Unita. Oh my god. What a fucking troll. What a troll is this printing pod. What have we spent the whole stream trying to do? Get some spicy tofu by growing nosh sprouts for the first time ever. What does the printing pod do? Gives us friggin' spicy tofu. Well, I guess it does save us about 15 minutes at this point. Ugh. Well, I'm making spicy tofu on stream at principle, but we're gonna print the spicy tofu. Yeah, it's superb quality. Yeah, there we go. Now you can have it. George, what are you doing? Eat the tofu. Yay! George liked the food! Right. The hermit loved the food. Tastier than the still warm pretzel that once fell off an unsupervised desk. So we're going to go look at this thing. The Somnium synthesizer. So this is the last story trait I haven't looked at. And I'm pretty interested to see how it works, because one thing I noticed is we have trained our dupes, and they have a lot of athletics. And most of them have exosuit wearing as a skill. I'm going to skill people up in exosuits if they don't have it as well. I'm going to get their athletics up. And what I'm thinking is, I think the dupes have enough athletic skills overall. I'm just going to put them in pajamas and see how it goes. Obviously the -8 penalty is pretty bad. But once we get the machine working, that gives you a +5 bonus to athletics. So there is still an overall penalty of having them in pajamas, but their other skills get buffed, and their athletic skill is very high. So their run speed is still good because they've been trained. But I want to test this theory. So let's investigate. Hey. I just need you to do this job 40 times. Yeah, there you go. I'm beginning to think the game did not want you to do this. In fact, I'm actually going to put a lamp here, specifically so that you can unpack these pajamas faster. Let's see. This is an Igneous Rock tile with 34 tons of Igneous Rock on it. Stomps. Biggest tile. Oh wow, this tile has 66.7 tons of Igneous Rock on it. Da 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 da. So now you're nodding off. So what does that mean? So yeah, wearing pajamas, -8 athletics, -10% stamina per cycle. Oh look, it's got a little progress bar up here. The more journals you fill it up with, the more the meter goes up. That's pretty neat. So the dupes wearing the pajamas generate dream journals, and they have -8 athletics. But because they've got this machine running off of the dream journals, that's giving them +5 athletics, and that's +5 to strength, science, piloting, and machinery as well. And what that means is, it's basically -3 athletics with +5 strength, science, and machinery, because piloting doesn't really matter. Is that worth it? I don't know. I think it's barely worth it, because the science means I'll level up their other attributes faster as well. And the machinery is nice, and obviously the science is nice if they're doing research. And the strength is nice for carrying things? I don't know whether that's worth it or not. I kind of just want this to be a block that doesn't require any actual maintenance, though. I just want the dupes to be able to live their lives here in peace without people barging in. So yeah, you're still dumping all the stuff over there. I hope it's actually grabbing the dream journals. We dumped some dream journals down here. Okay, so that's not a good start. Where do your dreams belong? In the dirt. Do they actually have anything written on them? No database entry. Pajama-induced dreams. I like how the logic is that the clothes are what's inducing the dreams. I mean, I guess it is technically what's happening, but it seems a little weird. The other main thing I wanted to do is I wanted to get the copper cooled, and I wanted to set up a dedicated room for cooling things, cooling solids that we put on a conveyor. So what I also noticed is that this sulfur geyser, it becomes active again in 17 cycles. So what I'm thinking is, I set up some kind of condensing chamber in here that condenses the sulfur into debris when it comes out of the geyser, i.e. just chill a load of hydrogen in this room, conveyor the sulfur up here, and then run the sulfur through some kind of cooled liquid, like petroleum, with the rest of the metal, and just put that cooling block somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe just over here or something. So the funny thing is, this turns on and off when it cools back down. So if it triggers twice, that means I know it's cooling back down. I can't build this vent because you've sealed this in. Right, okay, hold on. Right, I need to remove this tile again then. Oh. You could have kept building that, actually. That's funny. Apologies for that. How are you doing, Leofar, anyways? Hey, Canadian Black Wolf. Still enjoying this game? Yes, I am. We have got this hydrogen room such that the sulfur should condense immediately from the geyser. I'm hoping it doesn't tile up in this cooling bit. Yes, I have. Now we've ended up with loads of oxygen just randomly up here. How am I going to let the gases out? Right, so this room's completely full. I don't mind that little blob of water. That is eventually going to freeze it. We are still, in fairness, cooling down a lot of metal. That's all coming out here really nice and cold, so that's good. I can probably... Can we grab all of this? There's little bits of naphtha in here that I need to dump somewhere. Yeah, I'm glad we're organizing this asteroid because I want to grab the iron at the very least. And there's a lot of water over here as well. I just want to get this place set up before we do anything too crazy. So, believe it or not, running 50 coal power plants for all of my power everywhere is generating a lot of CO2. And that's all actually building up down here. Like, individually, the plants don't produce that much CO2. They produce, what? Let's see, where does it say? It produces, like, 20 grams per second. Which I guess is not insignificant. But I've realized now that because we're running 50 of these, sometimes continuously, that's like a kilogram of CO2 per second. And that's a fairly substantial amount. So we are going to have to get rid of all of this. We're not just going to be able to squish it down with oxygen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a machine over here. We're going to just make a massive sort of sieve slash carbon skimmer machine. Because people were suffocating down here yesterday and it's not really fair. Meep can't get any food. Well, you have food. So, yeah, that's what these skimmers will activate. And then once this water gets over here, then we'll reconnect this up. Yeah, I don't want the freezers to stop working again. Thankfully, they're cool enough at the moment that they're hanging on. I don't think this will overfill. Maybe it will. And We set up some carbon skimmers down here, but they're not running super efficiently because they create such a vacuum, it just sucks in any random gas, and then you can't get rid of it. So we're actually going to put in some extra carbon skimmers in a vertical column and see if that's more efficient. So let's see, I want 4. 1, 2, 3... Yes, the plan is very much that we're going to have a column of hatches just going across the entire map. Yeah, so note to self, if your carbon skimmers are breaking, whatever liquid is in them that's breaking it isn't going to seep out. That's alright. In terms of boiling the petroleum, it's going pretty well. Most of this is starting to boil. There's not a lot left. I've got to make sure this doesn't hit 540. I shouldn't really be boiling it this much, but I don't want to pump all this oil back over here. What is the gas situation? There's still a little bit of steam in here. Yeah, it's just going to take a little while to run. Yeah, I guess this wasn't going to work. I guess it was always going to leave a bit of a gap. There wasn't going to be enough steam mass to prevent this. If we leave this running long enough, it will generate enough steam pressure that we can remove the rest of the polluted oxygen, maybe? This room, I think, is going to stay as it is, so we'll drywall this. Yeah, these rooms will also stay like that. We drywall behind a shower is kind of funny. Can't see it. Right, there we go. So this should all vent at the moment, so let's flip these. And then in terms of the hydrogen, we've actually run the hydrogen pipe over here, so this has power at the moment. So we don't have any transformers, we just have a conveyor line full of coal that delivers coal everywhere. We have like 60 coal power plants. How do we have all this coal, you say? Well, we have the Tower of Hatches. They all get born up here, they're all stone hatches actually now. We have 203 stone hatchling eggs here. And they get dropped through this little chute automatically when we need to refill a ranch. And all the extra ones get drowned out in here. And then all the non-stone hatch eggs get sent to the kitchen where they're cracked. And we've ended up with a few stone hatchlings in here and some nuclear waste. Ignore the nuclear waste in the kitchen. Where? Devon! No! You're digging all that stuff. Oh right, you're already here. Right, okay, so you need to priority 9 do this and this. Are you gonna do anything? No, you're too busy expressing yourselves. That's not very convenient. You ain't actually doing it, are you? No, you just buried yourself further up here. Can you not dig? Is that your jam? No, you can dig, you just don't feel like it. I think I need a yellow alert these then. And then you'll get yourself out of here. Yeah, so now you're suffocating, Abe. Maybe we're going to get a lot of this while we're doing this job. I think we'll be fine, though. Breathability. There's breathable pockets everywhere. You guys are not super fast, but you will have the maximum aptitude bonus. So that should help you. You're suffocating now. Abe is again. Great. You're not suffocating. And then that should actually form a liquid lock here to seal it in. And then you guys can breathe all the gases. Lock the doors. Yes, we're going to lock the doors. I believe now that it's like this, you guys can get down here. So we'll do that once they're finished building these tiles. Wow, we've got some refined iron out here. Okay. That's convenient. I didn't realize we had that. So I guess we can dig this as well. And if you guys do this quickly, you won't get too irradiated, right? No, I don't think this is supposed to happen. Well, you'll poop it out in a minute, I'm sure. Right, let's unleash all this petroleum. Let's unleash the fearsome power of 1,000 suns on this water. Yeah, there we go. There's like hardly any gas down here. And this steam won't be hot enough to boil these liquids, so we should be fine. I need to put... No, yeah, nothing's going to leak through here, so we should be fine. So what I'm hoping is all of this steam just melts all of this ice. Let's see who wins. Are we actually going to start doing... We're not going to do pressure damage. Okay, we've got phosphorus. Okay. I guess we'll end up with some phosphorus. This is a very controlled process, I assure you. What a crazy situation. Right, I think this will be the thumbnail shot. The geyser itself is dormant at the moment. Yes, this is going to reactivate in about 34 cycles. Which is fine. We have quite a large stockpile of sulfur. I haven't actually put it on here. I believe it's still a miscellaneous, although they really do need to move this to agricultural now, because it is literally an agricultural resource. 117 tons, that's pretty good. Hey Leofar, how you doing? We are going to do sweet oils and grub grubs today. That's the plan. This is going to be ugly as sin. I'm beginning to think this doesn't make much sense, doing it like this. We shouldn't end up with any mud in this one. I think I can cancel this. The mud should all be here. But what we'll need to do is we'll need to take the sucrose out of here and bring it down here. Ah, that's what this conveyor loader is. Right. Okay, I think I need to give it a rest at this point. Like, I'm pretty happy with the build overall, but I just need to figure out a way to get one grub in each of these rooms. And I can drop the grub into each of these rooms via the dropper. I may need to adjust this detail over here slightly again, but that's fine. Yeah, so we've grabbed everything except for the iron from here. Set this to 10 green signal if above 200C. Just for now. And then that means I can start pouring the liquid in here, but obviously at the moment it's just regular gas. We want to build up a little bit of heat in here. Okay, so that's fine. We can leave that for a little bit. How is melting all of this going? The temperature is increasing here now. That's good. And then we've got some pitcher pumps down here. How many critters do we have? Good grief, how many critters do we have? So not only do we have the hatches, we have all these Pacu too. We have, like, many Pacu. I would say around 200. We got a little Pacu in here. Yeah, the two Pacu breeders are going alright. I considered actually expanding this all the way out here for a while ago, but that just does not seem necessary at all. So if we go to the colony report, let's see. We've got 556 domesticated critters. Yeah, most of those are stone hatches. Some of them are tropical Pacu, some of them are regular Pacu. That's basically it. We just need to get the numbers low enough that they actually drop again. And the thing is, we can't really murder them because there's too much HP. So that's another problem with this design. Well, it's not a problem with the design, it's just a problem with the critter. So now what should happen is we should get a load of steam forming in here. The water level will keep dropping, which is fine, because I mostly just wanted to remove the liquid from this area. And that will absorb all the heat from the obsidian only. Like, this abyssalite isn't getting any warmer. Okay, yeah, there you go. You can finish, Ari. So we built all the pipes, that's good. So now we can just connect this up like this, and then disconnect this. So now I can pump some salt water in here. And now what we can do is we just pump salt water in here until this gets below 125. And then we should be alright. And what I might even do is I might just leave the sand in here for now, just to keep the pressure up. And then once the pressure's alright, we can just start recirculating it again. And then we can start pumping in all of this. How much? We don't have a huge amount of salt water down here. This is not actually an infinite storage at the moment. At least the hatches have sorted themselves out. Poor Catalina, this is just ridiculous. Yeah, we've got a pretty interesting temperature overlay now. That's good. You got any more of them frames? So, this is what we worked on. This is what we worked on yesterday. There's this big hot obsidian boulder. It's 1400 degrees C. Still has lots of 1400 degrees C abyssalite. And we're making plans to get rid of it because it's in the way of our column. So this is how we do that. What we did is we dug a very small entry into the abyssalite. You need to minimize the amount of time that you've got exposed abyssalite to liquids and gases, because even though it doesn't have any thermal conductivity, it will flake the heat and has a lot of heat capacity. So you need to get it covered by a solid, and that way it won't exchange heat. So after that, we built some insulated tiles here to stop the flaking. And then we just dug out all the obsidian. The obsidian has a lot less heat capacity. It's 20 times less heat capacity. And it's very conductive. So we were able to boil some steam in here and get most of this obsidian out of here pretty quickly. So the next step for this is to condense all of this steam again, so we have a vacuum in this room. And once we've got the vacuum, we can safely dig out the abyssalite. And we'll maintain a vacuum in here somehow. What we'll do is we'll actually make this bit here a liquid lock. This liquid lock bit here will be surrounded by cold abyssalite that won't flake the heat off. So if we just get liquid in this bit and vacuum for the rest of it, then we'll be set, and we can just remove all the abyssalite, and then we can just remove everything. So that's the plan. So, long and short of it is, we're making room for all of these hatch ranches, because we've got about 200 stone hatches in here at the moment that we're feeding all our rock to. And the aim is to extend the column all the way from the space biome down to that volcano. And then we're going to feed them with all the magma volcanoes. That's the plan for this run, but it's taken a bit of time because we have so many dupes that we're kind of speed running it. And obviously so many critters as well. I knew there was going to be a lot of lag in this run, so we're just persevering. But the aluminium is conducting a lot of heat from this hot water. We actually did cave and we're just using a temperdizer now to heat this up. Though I think it's plenty hot enough. We don't want to score our dupes with it either. But this is the axis shaft for where all the ranch columns are going to go. Yeah, so one thing I've noticed now is there's enough lag that even on speed 1, we're getting some errand stalling on dupes. Which is not really what we want. Oh, I told them to tile over the mesh tiles, didn't I? Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, at this point, it's not mattering because it's actually building up to this level as well. So now what do I want to do with this? At the moment, what we're doing is we're expanding the hatch ranch column. The goal of this Rime run is to have stone hatches going from the space biome to, I guess, this volcano. And then we're going to feed them all off of taming some magma volcanoes. And I was going to do more, but the lag is at a level where I think I would rather just do a spaced out run on some smaller asteroids with less critters. But it's been alright. Have I done the maths for that? No. That would be really that would be really sensible to do. We definitely have enough volcanoes. We got 15 of them. I think each. Oh wow! Actually, you know what? We probably don't. That's so many hatches. They consume a lot of rock. They consume 140 kilograms per cycle. These volcanoes probably don't produce that much. Well, whatever. This isn't a super long run anyways. We've done a few cool things. Oh, right. Yeah, I've done the maths wrong. Yeah, so it's 4.7 stone hatches per average volcano and half for a miner. These are all average volcanoes. So that means Let's see. So that means 10 volcanoes per 6 ranches. Great. So we are going to run out of rock and pretty quickly, but that's fine. Because we're just balling. The thing I like about this build as well is the automation isn't too complicated. Like, it's just about at the level that you can sort of figure it out on your own, I think. A lot of automation in the game is just too complicated for me. I like builds that don't require a lot of automation. So it's probably about, like, what, 20 seconds? It's 5 kilograms a second of rock if you're just constantly working there. Hatch eats 140 kilograms a cycle, so that's like 0.25-ish kilograms per second. So that's what, 20 hatches? That's not very inspiring. Yeah, I think this is going alright. Oh, hold on. No, wait, no. Sour gas. Why we got sour gas? What is the gas situation here? There's a lot of sour gas. It's not just a little. It's a lot. What's that been coming into contact with, then? This? This is all cold. This doesn't burst. Actually, Shen took the day off because he wasn't feeling well. Ah, I see. We found a fellow Shen enthusiast. Well, I hope he feels better soon. Well, we just released a load of sour gas, and I don't really know what caused that to flash. Because it shouldn't be coming in contact with anything hot. Because none of this should be flashing heat now. What even is hot enough to cause that to flash? Oh god. The pressure damage was indeed a thing. We have covered our magma biome in liquids. Right, so the situation with that. All this petroleum is going to turn into sour gas. Okay. This is a very special kind of danger. Okay, you're coming through here. So you're coming through here so you can actually breathe. That's not a good sign. This area is still insulated. Funnily enough, this area is still cold because that's where all the water is. Those pipes. This is all overheating. That is something I hadn't considered. So each of these hatches, right, is eating 140 kilograms of rock per cycle and producing 70 kilograms of coal per cycle. So each ranch is producing 560 kilograms per cycle, i.e. about 1 kilogram per second. So yeah, that actually makes total sense. If each ranch is producing 1 kilogram per second max, 20 ranches are going to produce 20 kilograms per second. We need more than one sodding coal line. Well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. And by exciting, I mean terrifying. So each ranch is going to consume just under 2 kilograms per second. So that means for every 10 ranches, we'll need a conveyor belt to take materials there. Assuming that the dupes aren't just going to load these. So what I need to actually do is have a load of conveyor loaders up here, and then just send all the conveyor belts in parallel down here. That's going to be so much metal. Realistically, if we're going to do that, we're going to have to extract all the metal from space. And probably the other asteroid. I don't think there's much more metal waiting for us down here. There probably isn't. We could make it out of wolframite from the radioactive biome, maybe. Or maybe grab some more iron from down here, but neither of these prospects really appeal to me. This is taking a lot of your time. I think we're nearly done with the Paku, though. Or are we? It's taking some time. We've got all of our excavators down here dealing with them. Also, we have a vacuum. So now I can actually just dig all of this up, and that's not going to cause any issues, because there's not going to be any gas transfer. Because it's a vacuum, I'm pretty sure we can just dig all of this out and it's not going to matter. I wish they would rework pressure damage and how it works in this game. I've talked about this on the YouTube channel before, but I feel like it's very cheesy that you can just use a dispenser to stack every single solid in the game onto one tile. I feel like they should make it so that if a tile is holding too much debris, it starts to take damage. And you have to build bunker tiles to avoid doing that. So then at least you need to put like a bunker tile underneath your thing. What? You starved to death. My dude, there is food. What? Why have you starved to death? We did not receive a single notification that he was starving. Do you have a bed, Quinn? Oh, we did build the grave. We built the grave, ripped mozzarella. Never another like them until we print another like them. Rip. Yeah, that is the thing though. Dupe death is relatively cheap. You can just print more dupes. The only thing is, if your dupe is really skilled, then it hurts. But if it's a new dupe, it doesn't really matter too much if they die. Unless they had really good, like, starting attribute. So, you can play this game in a bit of a RimWorld way where you kill all your dupes and print new ones. But, that's not very fair to the dupes now, is it? So we'll wait for that all to pour in. We'll put some more ice in here. And then hopefully this water will be enough to solidify just a bit by the volcano. And the tiles underneath the volcano are all made of neutronium. So these are insulated anyways. So we need all this to solidify so that we can build the wall here. Oh, look! we did it. We got the Magma Paku. He's here for a limited time only. We got the Magma Paku. Easy. How long are you going to live for? Not very long, I don't think. What temperature can you get up to? 80 degrees. Yeah, okay, so it's time for the Magma Paku to go. He is a very short-lived critter. Yes, rip. Let's watch this. There we go. Now he has become the Magma Paku fillet. Right, okay. We've got some condensation of tiles here. That's good. Okay, looks like the magma is bursting through here. So now I need to dig this up. God. That's going to be a problem. That's not actually going to condense, is it? We got this nice little triple wall bit here. Then you can just dig this out. I think we're going to be digging stuff here for a little bit. But I think that's good. The game just actually froze to a crawl with conveyor belt logic. I'm glad I figured out that's what it was, because I thought it was all the hatches, but it wasn't. But yeah, this base is pretty impressive, but the only thing is, we vastly underestimated how much rock these guys actually eat. Because when I originally started the series, I did some maths, and I determined that I could run 10 ranches of these guys forever off of the output of 15 volcanoes. And somewhere along the way, I forgot that and decided to have 45 hatch ranches instead of 10. So we're on very limited time. Okay, looks like the steam vent is working now that it's properly geotuned. There's way too much steam coming out of it. I only actually need one to work, but if this is hot enough, that's good. So, yeah, now I can actually just disconnect this. I can disconnect that, and then we can turn off all of these. So I'm just going to set the wall to the gold volcano. The one that we actually have working. If we manage to get any refined phosphorus, we can do that. Maybe this could be the thumbnail. It's like searching for a volcano. The desperate search on Pokeshell Volcano Island. Hello, Imlis. Hope you're doing well. I am sad because the two... Oh, we've done a research. Fantastic. I'm sad because the two volcanoes that I was considering using for this Magma Volcano tamer are both about to go dormant, and all the others are covered in magma. Or 400 kilograms per tile of steam. So, this is the thing. If this didn't flood, we could have used one of these, and that would have been just fine. a spicy map. Yeah, we've had some spice. Let's make this out of ceramic. We have 188 tons of ceramic. We never used any of it. That's hilarious. Well, A, that, and B, we want it to be dormant and then have it reactivate in like 20 cycles. But we just put a fine carbon tile here. Oh no, wait! Are you trapped? Have we trapped the poke shell? I think we might have trapped the poke shell in the refined carbon tile. No! He's unreachable. He's not confined. Somehow. I want to see this diamond press operate as well, because I've never used this before. It needs a lot of rad bolts. I didn't realize how many rad bolts it needs. It needs 1,000 to produce 100 kilograms of diamond. So I feel like to do any significant amount of drill cone shenanigans with this machine, you need to have like an actual nuclear reactor, and you just need to have a massive infinite storage of nuclear waste to get enough rad bolts to actually run this thing like a lot. Steve, now is not the time to sing. Now is not the time to sing. You are suffocating and scolding. You're doing your best. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video and the end of the Rime Revenge colony. Unfortunately, it ended kind of unceremoniously on Twitch. A load of dupes got scolded on the secondary asteroid, and considering the state that the first asteroid was in, we didn't really have the resources to get a rescue operation going, so a lot of dupes died on that asteroid, and my mic cut off at the end, so I don't really have any good footage of that part, unfortunately. But you can assume that everybody died and that it was all gruesome and whatnot. They got eaten by a giant hatch. But yeah, let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if you want to see more montage summaries of my previous Twitch runs, Voxel not included. We have a lot of them on the list. Next to have a look at, Badlands Boffins was where we tackled a Badlands asteroid and we industrialized super quick. I think it's the most productive I've ever been in Oxygen Not Included. And we've also got Exploits Not Included, where I tackled Oasis with chat banning certain exploits. So let me know if you'd like to see montages of either of those runs, like just a summary, so we can get a flavor for them. And yeah, Whiskers, take it away with the credits. I'll see you guys in the next playthrough. Bye for now.
Whiskers sends thanks to the following Twitch subscribers and YouTube members: 999999999, Cakeface1212, FRD. Ion Elgis, Lagbot 30,000, Quantum Zari, Stinger's Playground, Sweet Danger Kitty, and Uglavisk.